Okay, we are live now.
All
Yay,
right,
we're
God.
live. You're looking smart and beautiful. How was the
Thank
session?
you.
You said you went for a leadership training.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay, well done.
Yeah.
I see you doing wonders from the city of Kenya to the world.
Global,
From
global.
yeah, from there to the
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
So, welcome on board. Thank you for joining us in the Focus Women Summit. I know you're part of this journey already.
yeah,
I want to celebrate you, Redemptor, for all that you do and you represent. I know that, in fact, when the Word of God says that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man the things that God has in store for His children. I see you just expressing the wonders of God in your country and beyond to the different part of the world. I want to continue in that mind. There's so much that God has embedded in you. And of course, as we continue on this journey together as, as siblings in the feed, I pray that more doors will be open, eyes will be open as we speak, as we open our mouths to declare whatever it is that God has laid in our heart for the season. Welcome to the Focus Female Summit. The essence of this very event is to help another woman out there, even if it's just one person, to help that woman become intentional, focused,
yeah.
and able to live a life of purpose. So
Mm.
before we go on conversation, I'd like you to introduce yourself to the art. Tell us what you do. This powerful woman, this force for good. Tell us about you. Who is with them?
So
Takanja Aseyo. You did not add that one. Aseyo. Mm.
Aseo. All right. Yeah, my name is Redemptor Kanza. And I don't know, I think I should borrow from what I've had people say that they are multidimensional. I think for me
Mm.
here, I'm multidimensional. And my core key is a coach. I do trainings, a lot of trainings. I do editing, and I also help authors write. But most importantly is that there is a call to help people step up, take charge of their life and make it
Mm.
their responsibility so that they can own it, they can build it, and then just live it boldly. So I think that
Mm.
is the whole essence, to raise an intentional leader, not necessarily just one gender, but to raise an intentional leader. And of course, being a woman, there is that favoritism of really raising women as well. So this was accurately aligned with my mission and purpose, that to be able to help people live with intention and a purpose each and every day. Yeah.
That's quite interesting. And we've also seen it again and again. I think women are really rising into leadership in this day and age. You put up a
Yeah.
program and then you have 1,000 people in the room and 900 are women. Did I say
Yes,
900?
yes.
Sometimes even
Yeah.
950 are women. And they just have 50 as women. There's one of my colleagues in the US, at one point, she had to interview me for when she was doing her PhD research. And then she was asking me, Coach Faith, do you get more women in your community? Like, it's a thing in the US. Like, you're a coach, you're a mentor, you're this, you're a leader. You have 50 students and just have two men in the room. Do you often experience it? I think that was what the core of the interview. And it was quite fascinating. She had to do a research on that. So I really love the fact that women are rising, right? We want to know more. We have this aspiration, okay? We want to learn more, want to be good, want to be exceptional. But Coach Redemptor, what I have noticed is beyond just that aspiration alone, women are not sitting down to really curate a life that can be replicated in the different spheres of engagement, that can really become like an epitome, an example that can be looked upon and others want to learn. So they will just barely get inspired by the things that we learn, and at the end of the day, we don't move past there. So the essence of focus so that we can begin to steward our genius. So you are going to be talking about how to move from surviving to thriving, building a life you do not need to escape from. So you're going to share, first of all, you share with us your story, your background. All right. You share with us your background and then how you were able to move from that place to where what you are currently doing now, and how a life of focus has actually also helped you to be able to steward that brilliance. And I know a lot of people want to listen to you today. They're like, Vivek, how did you cope? Moving from banking to where you are today, doing what you're doing, reaching out to thousands and hundreds of people across the world. So we know that we want to build this life we don't want to escape from. I like you to first of all lay that foundation so that they know where you are coming from, and then we take the conversation from there.
Thank you so much, Coach. That's very amazing. And right now, as you're talking, I'm just trying to see what do I say not, because it's a very long story. But I'll
Yeah.
make sure I cut it so that we have a meaningful engagement, because at the end of the day, I know my story will inspire someone, but it's just about where we are and moving forward. And I can say that for a long time, I lived on survival mode, and I did what I needed to do to rise from the ashes. And one of the things is that I don't really come from a very, I think where I came from, my family was not very well off. And I remember my dad uh, was very sick, as in there was the whole aspect of diabetes. And then he died so early when I had just joined campus. And I really didn't have anyone else to say that I want to pay, who will pay my school fees. Even that year when I joined campus before my dad passed on, it was not like he was able to pay my school fees. It was just the emotional support of my dad is there. My dad is giving me moral support. But a lot of money was needed in terms of just being able to cater for his drugs and stuff. Medicine, let me use medicine so that someone doesn't say drugs, medicine for his medicine. But after that, I went to campus and my dad passes on, and I realized, you know what? I was so strong willed that I had come from a very poor background, and I was like, I will never have to go back to that background again. I refused to ever settle for where our parents had given us a best level. I thought that was a best level and we needed to do better. So I decided to become an entrepreneur. So in campus, I became an entrepreneur. I was selling a number of things here and there to just be able to cater for myself and also help my sister and my brother, who had also just done their exam and they were already joining campus. And in that, because I was a senior than them, I took on the responsibility of assuming they can never survive by their own. And therefore, I
Mm.
took it upon my initiative to be their provider somehow to support them.
Even as a student.
Yes, I was a student and I was catering for myself and them. And every time when you have been in a college, in a tertiary organizations, what you do, you go to school, you learn like 3 months, sometimes 6 months, then you break, you come back. So there is always a 3 months in break. So every time that happened, I would go to look for a job. I would find a job in different organizations and then you would work. But this specifically, I remember one time I just got an opening to work in a banking sector. So by the time I was finishing school, I even thought, maybe I'll just get into the banking because I've been there. But that didn't happen. I took like 9 months off and I was a hawker. I don't know how you call it in your country specifically, but people who walk in the busy street selling things to people, you can be captured by you can either be captured by the policeman or something those days. So I think the thing is that I did that so long, but it was doing well. Later on, I got employment. And let me tell you, when I got employment, I was so very much excited and I got into the banking sector. I was doing a lot of sales and I sold and I was making good money and I was excited. But then it came to a point where I wasn't excited anymore. Like it was not an excitement. Yes, I've made money. So what? I was living good. I could afford 1, 2, 3. There was a lifestyle I started adopting. But it came to a point where I felt like there was more to give. There was more from my heart. There was something that was calling me to go yonder. And I didn't know what to do. I just needed change, but I didn't know what to do.
Mm.
And I just remember one day, I usually laugh how we met with coach and also just the things. It wasn't like I wasn't even doing anything. I was just trying to start to read, just to do a few things, just attend a few seminars here and there. But then one day I saw someone had shared a flyer for a book club. And I was like, oh my God, what an awesome thing to be in a book club. And then I joined. When I joined the book club, it wasn't even a book club by that particular time. I think it was people were being taught how to run book clubs. And for me, I think when I had the speaker who was Coach Faith, I think we really resonated. And I was like, this is the person I'm looking for. Can I work with them? So I joined a few classes. And I remember that time I wrote a beautiful book. I think it was on my table. It's called Taking Charge. And then after that, we just continued. And one thing that happened is that I now shifted from survival mode because I was able to find clarity of what I wanted. So I stopped coping with the situation, just waking up in the morning, going, doing the same thing over and over, the routine that was not helping me. But then I started now living and designing. It's like I stopped managing life and started designing the life I want. So I remember just looking through and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So I started reading, I started gaining confidence in myself. There was this strong conviction for sure that this conviction I'm having is not just a fluke. It is
Mm.
something, because then that confidence and that conviction was coming from confidence. That confidence was coming from clarity that I had already found that this is what your life could look like, and this is really what God was speaking in my heart, and I'm just getting the light of what that looks like. And then that clarity was coming, like that, from a place of knowing my identity, knowing that I was made for more. I was created for more, and I can actually produce more. There are so many skills and talents that I had buried. So in that particular situation, I started honing. I just became intentional. Like, you're just intentional and you refuse to say, you know what, life will not happen to me, but I'm just going to consciously and intentionally build the life I want. So I started waking up in the morning. I started reading. I started designing the blueprint of what I want. I even decided how many years should I give this particular work, because I didn't just live, because I had responsibilities. And when you have responsibilities, you have to organize to say, okay, this one, I think this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do. And it's not like you have it all gathered. It's not like I had a lot of money to say, now for the next 60 years, you got the money. For the next 10 years, this is no. It was just me having faith in the skills and in the things that God was calling me to do, and me building capacity for that, and saying, you know what, I don't have to live under the dictatorship of this, or I don't have to allow myself to manage life, but I can design the life I want. And of course, when I left, it was there was a lot of things, especially things that keep people in the survival mode. One of them is fear. People fear disappointing other people. I was a breadwinner to many other people. And at one point, I thought, oh, if I don't supply to these people, they might die. What will they do? How will they do? It's like I was becoming the Christ of the people. And I realized God has created them, and it will come to a place where God is our Father. He provides for all of us, and He sees each and every one of us. And if He's giving me an assignment, I can have the audacity to walk and just fulfill the assignment He's calling me, and allow Him to take care of every other person. So for me, that particular time, that particular talk took a long time for me to accept that there are responsibilities I've been having, and some of them I might let go, not because I want to let go, but so that I can build a bigger thing, a bigger pie, maybe to create a bigger pie that can fit all of us, other than from the breadcrumbs that we were earning as wages, which was good, but I could do more. And then there was also the fear of instability. I didn't know what will happen, because this is the life I'm used to doing. This is how I'm used to having. This is where we go. This is how. And I'm just wondering what will happen to me if. And then the fear was not even about the instabilization. The fear was about my friends. What will they say? She used to think she's a banker. She used to dress. So, those people's things, and you're thinking, what is that? What instability will do to you? And then we had also the fear of starting all over again. Imagine I have built my career, and I'm almost a manager. I was like a manager, and I was doing those things, and I'm starting again. I'm used to the title. I'm used to having big names and people respecting me in public. But in private, I'm suffering because I'm not aligned. I'm not aligned with what God wants me to do, or the season of my life. And I was like, you know what? I think I would rather take this fall and disappoint a few people, have a little bit of instability, start over, but then build something that has a solid foundation. That is really what I had to do. And also the other thing was just that point of normalizing exhaustion. Like, you are just constantly exhausted, you are not available, you are always busy doing the same thing over and over, and it's not even adding value in the long run. So for me, I had just stopped, it had become my identity. Like, even if there is a meeting, is like, I won't be found, I'll be working. I'll be, just being exhausted. So that is one of the things that I had to let go and say, I want to work from a place of sanity. I want to be sober. I want to wake up every day refreshed, excited. Why? Even if I was yesterday tired, I was tired doing something that aligns with my purpose, my vision, my identity, where I am. So that was just something that really helped me quit the survival mode. And also, the other thing was just me defining the real definition of success. There are people who are very successful. For me, I was one of them, very successful, but deeply unfulfilled. You are a manager, people see you, you come with flashy things, you can afford them, you can give people some money like a politician. Yes. But the thing is, it was not about it was me just aligning to the expectation, because I'm a manager, I should do this. I am working in a bank, I should do this, just fulfilling some basic expectations here and there, but it wasn't aligned. So when I had to when I looked at my life and I was living a life that looks right, but it wasn't feeling right, I just had to, like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, and I'm okay. I've done my best, but I really need to actually come to a place where I can live a life that is deeply fulfilling, a life that I have consciously built, a life that I have consciously designed. So for me, that was it, and that really changed my life. It really changed me. It changed my life because I became intentional about what I was doing. Yeah.
That's powerful. I really love how you have been able to take it from the place of your own personal encounter, your journey, your background, and all of that. I believe people, ladies, you are really writing down some of those points. He said something quite interesting, that clarity is needed for letting go of the life of survivor. Clarity is needed for letting go. Can you hear me? Clarity is needed for letting go of the life of survivor. You see, many people do not really know that they are surviving. They don't know that
Yeah.
they are surviving. So they get to a level where they now begin to realize that, what has actually happened in my life? Can you clearly define or distinguish between a life of survivor and a life that is truly thriving? Can you distinguish in clear terms so that someone here can really understand to say, yes, I know you have said it already, but I just want you to put a clear statement around it so that somebody can really know when they are really thriving and when they are surviving, and how can they distinguish between these different ends of the spectrum so that they can finally begin to live the life that God wants them to live. Like you started to live that life, you became more intentional, and a lot started to also happen in your life. So how were you able to distinguish to say this is me surviving, even though I'm making a lot of money? I really need to move on to the next level.
Okay, so how do you distinguish that you're surviving, or you're managing life, or you're just, life is happening to you? Number one is, when you look at the first thing is that what is your feeling? The gut feeling of, am I aligned or not aligned? There is that thing you keep pushing off and thinking that, it will pass. You keep doing
Mm,
something and you're like, it will pass, and you're constantly looking at the past, you're looking at your upbringing, you're looking at the circumstances. Everything you do, it's about your circumstances. The choices you make, the patterns you make, the direction is about the circumstances that are there. You're trying to just make do with what is available. Make do with what is available. When you find yourself there, it becomes it shows that you are actually surviving when you are constantly saying yes to the things you would otherwise say no. If you had a higher power or more money or different circumstances, you would have said yes, but you're saying you would have said no, but you're saying yes while so much traumatized. You just wish you couldn't do it. That is a place where you're surviving. Also, when you don't have time for yourself, if you really, really never have time for yourself, everything is about work, it's about other people, and you don't even have time to sit down and breathe, even for 1 minute or something. That is about surviving. And
mm,
thriving looks like taking charge of your choices, of your responsibilities, of the things that you want, of the direction. You're like, okay, this is what is on my table. But according to the season where I am and how I am, I think I'm going to choose this direction and I'm going to build up. I might not have the resources, but this is the direction I'm going. This looks like it is aligned with my season, my timings as per now. It looks like, you know what, even in the midst of all chaos, you just have an hour for yourself, just sitting down and looking at, okay, so what did I do today? What did I do in this season? How is it aligning? How can I move forward? There is that piece. And let me tell you, when you are aligned and you're thriving, people who are aligned are so busy. Like, I usually look at, I don't even know how many programs they are running and everything, but these people, they can be exhausted but very fulfilled, because it is not about the tiredness. It is about the impact you just wanted, the success that came out of what you are doing. So for me, also that place of asking, why am I doing this? Not they told me to do this or I am supposed to do this. That becomes a very survival mode. But when you're like, why am I doing this? This is the reason I'm doing this. Then that reason becomes the fuel that keeps making you move. And also there is that internal shift from your heart, that I am excited doing this because I can see the future of this particular thing. But when you are just doing something from the outside, you want to make changes outside, but internally your heart is somewhere else, then that can be one of the things that really show you're surviving, and it will need to break before you can really move out. And also making peace with wanting more. Like, when there are people who come to a place where they make peace and they settle for less, they settle for what is not theirs. But when you have a peace, you have clarity of what you are doing, you find that you want more, but it is out of peace. You're going for more, you're going for bigger territories, you're going for bigger businesses, bigger clients, not out of pressure, out of greed, but because this is the capacity I have built and I am expanding slowly. So that is just, owning your responsibility from a place of peace, That is when you're really thriving. And also, just being intentional, like this, like I'm building something intentionally. You're intentional that this is what it's not someone else forcing you or how people are forcing you. It's just you being intentional that I am building this. Like nowadays I wake up very early in the morning and I am not stressed about it. It's not like I'm running to beat anyone's deadline. I'm just doing what I am passionate about and I am excited about it, and ideas are coming and I'm like, oh my God, this one I cannot even execute this year, maybe 2028, maybe 2021, but it is just flowing. And I'm like, I don't even have capacity to do this. The ideas are jumping up and down, So yeah, it's a very good thing. Yeah.
Oh my God. And sometimes people will just look at you and say, Redemptor, can you take it easy? We have not finished 2026. Why are you talking
Yes,
about 2010? What's
yes.
going on?
Yeah.
So I see such a life. There's no way you want to run away from it. There's no way you want to escape it. So I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
ask, do you ever want to escape from this life that you're currently living? And how, on a second note, how do you build a life that you never want to escape from?
And I also want to say that don't also let me start by saying, also let's not limit ourselves by, sometimes people say we want to build a life that we don't have to escape from. So number one, I'm gonna answer that because I think right now I love what I do really. But also I want to say, when I did a pivot from my corporate job to CAM, I really thought I had ideas of what I wanted to do. And when I tested them, they flopped. You've
Hmm.
had God, you have purpose, you have vision, but you didn't know what mechanism or how do you execute that vision. And because of that, you didn't, there was no right way to bring what is in your heart to this. And sometimes it can really cause frustration. But the thing is, you just taking that aback and just doing audit of really what do I want to do? How do I do? You realize, and also that aspect of just having a coach, having a mentor, and you're bouncing these ideas back and you're like, how do I do this? And you realize what you're carrying is awesome, but if you are to package it as food, people are not going to eat. But if you are going to package it as the products, they can get and go cook their own food. Like, it's very important. So for me, like when I came, I was excited about coaching, and I'm telling people about purpose. I'm telling people about identity, and they're just looking at me, purpose. What is that? What is this new thing? But then when I changed my athlete to see how can I package this, how can I reach out to people, now people come into my circle to actually do something different, and then they end up discovering their purpose, and they're like, oh my god, this was amazing. So the thing is that understanding the season, the time, and then building that. But however, also, how did I come to this place of okay, just wanting to, like, okay, I love this, and I'm gonna keep building until I narrow down. Like, this is the things I do, and I'm gonna keep building and testing different things. Is that I had to really know, what do I want as a person? What do I want as a person? What is the priority of my life and season?
Mm.
You know, and even before I know what do I want, what skills do I have? What is the skills that I really have that I love, and I can use them? I can put them to work. Because you can come and you want to do something so big, but you don't have the skill. You don't know, you don't have the technical know-how. You don't have the knowledge of that particular thing. So you're building capacity, building skills to be able to do that thing with ease and excellence. It gives you a much better way to start from, rather than trying to get something that you don't know. You're frustrated executing, you don't have skills, and you don't have what it takes to do. That can lead you into a depression mode, into a frustration. But when you have skills you've built, and you know, I can bet with my life that I will deliver this, then it becomes something. And then you start building, invest knowledge, expand your capacity, hone your skills. And then also that aspect of just drawing boundaries, like just knowing, okay, this is what I used to do, but that's not what I'm doing. How do I draw boundaries that protect me? Like now in the morning, I'm like, I can't do certain things in the morning. Morning is my space. This morning, I'm going to protect my energy. I'm going to do my devotion. I'm going to do maybe a little of exercises. I'm going to read a book and stuff. Just putting boundaries on the things that make you send, the things that help you build that capacity is one of the things that you can really do to build a life you want, because then you're doing it out of clarity. And also just doing the environment shift. If you realize I'm not able to function because I'm in an environment where I feel people are judging me, people knew me, and I don't know how to come lower or up or something, shift your environment. Shift your environment, go to a different place, start afresh where people don't know you. In fact, there is a book I read. I don't know who had written that book, when they totally transitioned to another place, went into a single bedroom, started their business there without having to be judged by people in the mansion they were staying in. Just change your environment, and it becomes something so very much easy. So you create a structure. As much as in your business you're doing up and down, you create a structure, and then you do, like, you create decisions and choices that you want to make, and you keep repeating them, see which ones are working, which ones are not working. Now when everything is solid, then you start thriving. People will think it was luck, but the truth is that it wasn't luck. It is you who decided to create the life you want. And people never see the things that go into us just being sitting here today. They don't know the ads that were done. They don't know the phone calls that had to go through, reaching out to different speakers in different countries. They don't see the advertisement. They don't see all those things. They only see the conversation. But the thing is that there is so much behind. And if that so much behind was not well structured, was not well thought of, was not well, it was not clear, then it means that this meeting wouldn't have functioned or happened in the best way possible. So, yeah.
Ah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Redempta. Are we enjoying the session? Oh, I see you, Gelly. Thank you for joining. Shoma Ejiofor, clarity is needed for a life of survivor. Mm. Thriving is taking charge of your direction. That's beautiful. Thank you for dropping that. I needed to highlight it. I think you should get the book by Coach Redempta. She's written a book called Taking Charge. There's a framework to taking charge. So, without going too deep, Redemptor, I know I didn't say I was going to ask you this. Can you just give us maybe some tips from your book without giving everything? No, maybe they should go and buy the book after now. Give us some tips from your book because you have said this thing and it's almost like it's still vague for a lot of people. How were you able to take charge? Now your finances, you were making money. Now you needed to come this way to start trying to build again and again and again. I know that there were times you were like, did I make the right decision? Now in
Yeah.
taking charge, can you just give us maybe some aspect of that framework that somebody can hold on to, or maybe the very first step that they need to take to ensure that they are able to keep building, to also leverage the options that are within their disposal.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that I really highlight in that book is that you have to stop apportioning blame. You have to stop clinging to the past. You have to stop uh, just being the victim. You need to stop being the victim. It doesn't matter what really happened, but you just have to stop being a victim and then choose to say, these things have happened. Everything has happened. The glass is half full or half empty, whatever definition is, but I'm going to move forward from where I am. So you don't want to keep going back and saying, this is why I'm limited. This is why you just want to be where you are and decide, I want to move forward. So when you take ownership and say, it doesn't matter what has happened, but I want to move forward, because I had so many reasons not to move forward. I had so many reasons to hold on to what was happening in my life. I had a lot of reason to hold on to my job, which I would still be doing today, and we wouldn't be seated here as a coach, because I would be a banker somewhere trying to appraise loans and stuff to give people money who will not pay, and then I start following them to pay, and they are the ones who used the money, all those things. But the thing is, just and for me, I just had to choose and say, what do I want to do? What is it that I feel I've been enabled to move on? And also being really a spiritual person, just knowing that God has good plans for my future, and He has given me wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to just be able, when I commune with them, I'm able to get the direction, to cut the direction in which He wants me to go on. So when I came to that place and I said, you know what, whatever happened, I don't even want to know who did it, who hurt me, who didn't hurt me, what did I go through, what did I not go through, but I'm going to build a life that I don't want my children to repeat the pain or the things that I have gone through my life. And also to just build a better future for myself, because imagine at 40 still saying, I came from a poor background. It's very, very tricky. By the time I'm getting to 40, by the time I'm getting to 50, I'm still saying, if my parents were rich, surely. It can't be like that. So I just needed to make that decision. And what I did is that I sat down and I looked at the pros and cons, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to move forward. This and this has to stop. This I don't like, has to stop. What is the way forward? This other thing has to stop. What is the way forward? And then I realized I want to be up here, but I am here and I can't jump up here. So I decided to take very minimal step. Take one step at a time. You overcome. You're glad, you're happy, you celebrate the win. Don't stay there. Move to the next level. Just keep working one thing at a time. If you have financial issues, relationship issues, marriage issues, whatever it is, and it is one person, it's just one person. The truth is that your life is in a mess. So what do you start? You start fixing one by one. What can I fix first? If it's relationship, can I fix? If it is environment, can I fix? And if you can't fix, how can I manage this situation? I think that when I learned from Coach Faith, how can I manage this situation as I keep climbing, so that you don't burn all the bridges? So you manage the situation as you keep climbing and doing what you need to do. That gives you that helps you to move forward. And also when you're doing in that space, when you're taking charge, you limit conversations that shrink your vision. Someone will tell you, you think people have been trying. Your father tried, he didn't make it. Your mother tried, went up and down, didn't make it. So you think you will make it. Such conversations you avoid. Your friends can even see you going and you're like, oh no. So you seek to have people who are like-minded. And many times it's not easy to get people who are like-minded. But if you get one, it will be so much easy for you to keep moving. And then also just having personal standards that, you know what, this is where I am, and that is what I don't like. I want to be here, and I'm gonna being willing. I think the best word I could say, be willing to do the work. Be willing to do the work. Be willing to take responsibility. If you want, for example, to lose weight, imagine no one is gonna lose the weight for you. If I go to the gym, it is me who will lose weight. It is not you. If I watch my TV for those finger licking sweet meals, it is the person who cooked who will eat, who brought to the TV. It's not me. Me, I have to go and cook myself. So just be willing to do the work. And then also the other thing that I say when it takes to charge is that no pain, no pain, no gain. So you must be willing to feel some pain. You must be willing to let some part of you be changed. It might be your reputation, it might be your finances, it might be your relationships, it might be whatever. You have to feel some pain when you're changing because you've been in a comfort zone. For you to go to that next level, there has to be a pain. There has to be something you part with. There has to be something you lose for you to come to that particular level. And also, the other thing that I really talk about when it comes to taking charge is that have a vision. If you don't know the destination or you don't know the vision you're working with, if I just started working out and I don't have any vision of maybe I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to do something, if life gets hard, who is beating me? No one. I just shrink back and go back. If you started reading a book and there was no vision, why are you reading a book? You are just reading for fun. And now you are tired, you want to sleep, you want to watch TV, you will just stop and watch TV. But when you know the destination that I'm building a life because I want to build capacity for my next level, no one will distract you. It is just becomes automatic. You push past that pain, you push past the limitations that come your way. And it won't even be hard when you have a vision. People will be looking at you and they will be like, this is so hard. But you are having so much fun, like so much fun. So that is what I'm saying, that have a vision. If you don't have a vision, you will fall back. But when you have a vision, you will pass any limitation and then you will get there. So those are some of the things that I really highlight and many others. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So if they want to get to you, Redempta, what platforms are you most active?
Yo, so if you want to get me, I am on all platforms, starting from LinkedIn, LinkedIn, Redempta Aseo. On YouTube is Redempta Kanja. On Facebook is After One Kind Club and Redempta Kanja. I have all the different platforms that I express different things. And also on TikTok is Redempta Kanja. What is the other? Instagram, Redempta Kanja. So everything Redempta Kanja and just a few. One is After One Kind Club. That's where really I work. Yeah, that's where I share my work. But I also want to just maybe one thing that was clicking in my mind as you asked the other question, I was just thinking about a woman, and I was just saying one thing that really has helped me to come this far is just being clear about who am I. When you're clear about who you are, and then you become grounded. And when you become grounded, noise don't add so much value. Like you will be in the midst of noise and you will not hear. Like you will be thriving in the midst of everything. You will thrive because you know who you are. And then when you take that full responsibility, you're clear, you're grounded, and then you take responsibility. And that is what has happened, Coach, when you started by saying you're seeing a lot of women, 950 women, is that women have sat down and have realized they can rise up, they can defend themselves, they can become something, and they have feared to become. They used to fear to take responsibility. Right now, they are willing to take responsibility. So that is one of the things that has really helped me to be where I am. And also that all aspect of being consistent, being bold, and living without an apology. That is it. That, I'm going to make it and I'm going to make it. Doesn't matter what is happening here, but I will be consistent. because I realized that many times when you're starting, you want people to be excited the way you're excited, but we are not excited because we don't know you. But as you keep doing this thing, people keep saying, oh, she didn't give up last year, or this year she didn't also give up. So when that happens, they actually start to think, okay, let me see what is happening with this person. So they come to you because they admire the things you're doing. So we really have to just be consistent if we really want to thrive and just be amazing human beings who are fulfilling everything that is happening. And also, most importantly, protecting our mind, not letting every person speak to you and maybe bring you down or something. Just protecting your mind, having this, like today, me, if someone told me give up, I will ask them, for what? I have come too far to give up. I can only move forward. Why? Because I know the work that has come in. But if you're not protected your mind, you're listening to the wrong people, listening to the wrong vision, wrong people, wrong voices, you will give up. So you don't have to lower your expectations, but you just have to be able to come to that place where you will meet your expectations. You will decide to expand intentionally. You will be stabilized in your vision because of the things that you're doing. Yeah.
Oh my God, the Empowered Woman edition is really on fire. How many of you are enjoying it? I can see your comments. They are powerful. Coach Redemptor, can you see the comment from there? Powerful comments we're
Apparently, I
getting.
can't see.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
I see
yeah, I can see.
Teresa, Oye, I see. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been beautiful. Coach Redemptor has
Velma,
really
thank you for joining in. This lady who has written this comment is the one who made me know about you. She's the one who posted your
Oh, really?
flyer. Yes,
Wow.
Velma. Yeah,
How did you pronounce her name?
Velma Adhiambo.
Wow. Is she from Kenya too?
Yes, she's from Kenya.
Oh, I really need to connect to you. Thank you for connecting
Mm.
me to this amazing woman. All right.
Yeah,
Okay, so we have seen that clarity is necessary for us
yeah,
to do the work. The very
yeah.
first level of empowerment. Many of us have options, but we don't know how to leverage them yet because we really do not have clarity. So Coach Redemptor has shared several things. What she has shared here is even enough to write a book. So I'd like you to go back and listen to the replay again and again. Do the work, be intentional. And if at any point you want to get a book, please reach out. And you can also reach out to her for other reasons. She's also a coach. She does a lot under her belt. She also helped to edit and write books. She's a purpose coach. She's a multi-potentialite. In a nutshell. All right. Thank you so much, Coach Redemptor. I'd like to give you a final word so we can call it a day for now.
Yep. I like what people are highlighting. They don't have questions. They weren't asking questions. I
Do we
am
have questions?
benefited. Here.
Okay, she
Oh,
says she's a silent follower. So then stop being a silent follower. You need to send me a DM. All right.
yeah. So
So
yeah.
let's go ahead.
So I would okay. So I would say for me, I think when it comes to thriving, I think it's today we have so many resources that can make us thrive. Today, in today's world, we do not have any excuse. We have so many people we can look up to. When I was growing up, I didn't have enough examples, but today I have enough examples. I have the ability to choose. I think the things I do, no one is doing them in my family. So if I can be a pioneer, then it means that many others can come and do what I'm doing. So the thing is that for us to thrive, number one, we need to know our God. Just know who your God is. Who do you pay allegiance to? How do they lead you? That is number one. And when you know your God, then come know yourself, because you can only know yourself when you know your God, the person who created you, your creator. Let me say that, your creator. And then when you want to say, what can I do? What is my purpose? Which path can I follow? What can I do? If you know him, he makes you know yourself. And then he tells you why he created you. He gives you a path for you to follow. Yeah. So when you know that, it becomes very easy for you to actually move on grounded, knowing you're solid. You're not shaken by things that come up and down. I have seen many women, the mistake they make is that they do one thing today, they are so vocal about it. Tomorrow they are given up, they are doing something different. The other day they are doing, so you don't even know why should you follow them. Is it this or that or this? And when you follow them about one thing, they're like, I stopped doing that. Now nowadays I'm selling, what is it? You guys have amara soup or something. They stopped they stopped cooking this, they are doing this. So I think I would say that being grounded and just being that self-awareness, being grounded, knowing who you are, knowing your God, and being anchored down and just trusting that He has the best in place for you, and you are the best that the universe can experience. There is no one else like you. Knowing that you are super amazing woman and you can do super amazing things. Believing in yourself. I think there is nothing that beats believing in yourself, knowing that, you know what, I am able, I am capable of doing amazing things. When that gets in your mind, the shift coming from inside out, it becomes very easy for you to do some of the things that you think are very hard. Then another thing is that stop living. I think one of the other things that I have seen is that many women carry so many responsibilities. You're carrying so many people on shoulders. It is very hard for you to carry all these things. Even the Bible says, please take them to the Lord. Let God carry them. Let God carry them. You carry one thing that needs to steward well. And as you steward this thing, can carry all these people and they can see and say, for sure, this is the way. Yeah, so it's one of the things that we should actually do, just being responsible for your life and just and as much as we love people, we care for people, we do so many things, just knowing what are the limits, what are my limits, what is this weight that will not put me down, what is this thing that I need to hand to God, what is this thing that I need to let go. When you come to that place, that can be an easy conversation with a woman who wants to thrive. Not so just a woman who loves yourself, a woman who just says, you know what, I'm gonna give myself space to grow. I'm gonna give myself space to thrive. That is a very powerful woman, unshakable woman, unstoppable woman, a woman who has made up their mind. That is gonna be that can be an amazing thing for that particular woman. So I'm cheering you, I'm rooting for you, and I look forward to
We have
seeing
a
you
question.
doing amazing things. Oh, someone has a
We have
question?
a question. In 1 minute, please. What do you do when you are worried, sick of having slow progress while working on part of impact?
Oh, impact has slow progress. Let me start from there. Yeah, it's that normal, and it is true it will be slow. It will be slow until it tests your conviction. That's why we said this thing called purpose and impact is about conviction. And conviction is from confidence. That confidence comes from clarity. So when I know this is the path, sorry, I want to use a bad example, but I just wanted to say, what if you have said, yes, I do, to this amazing man you thought was there, and then he comes down and is slowing you down? You're wondering, he's not beating you, he's not, but he's not even willing to grow. You're just there. What do you happen? Do you leave them, or you try to bring them together with you and grow together? Because he's not abusive, he's not, but he's just not moving. So those are the things. But when you constantly do your best, they start looking at you, and many of them would say, hey, if my husband is my wife is trying, let me also up my game and follow suit. So progress is the world of impact is slow. Like, do you know this conversation cannot just change you, like cannot just change, cannot just, you need to do many, many more programs. You should join all Coach Faye's program, join my program. Like, it has to be step by step. So progress will be slow. Impact you might not see, but guess what? It is happening. It's compounded. Today is small, tomorrow small. Then one day you realize, oh, I made a difference. So don't look at for example, when you're online, don't look at the likes, just look at the impact. Even if it's one person, I like Coach Faith, one thing she always say, if I'm just here for one person, I'm okay, my assignment is done. So maybe you're looking at the numbers, maybe you're looking at the figures, but just look at the assignment. Be faithful in doing the assignment. The day it will turn and explore, you will not even have, you will start pushing business to other people, or you will start looking how to expand from 1 month show to a whole office. yeah, that's what I can say.
Thank you so much, Coach Redempta. Before we go, I'd love to recommend this book to the person that asked that question. What's the name? Teresa? I don't know. You can get it on Amazon. Unshakable Leadership is by one of my friends, Pam Pabla from Canada. You can get this book. It's going to help you in a lot of ways. Like Coach Redempta rightly shared, it's about faithfulness.
Yeah.
Faithfulness is what helps to sustain the path. It's not easy. A few days ago, I'd gone for an event, and while I was going for this wonderful and amazing event, I saw the signpost somewhere that this woman has been in ministry for 30 years. I was like, hey,
Uh-huh.
30 years, where was I?
Mhm.
In fact, when I got to that venue, I needed to re-strategize my humility. I needed to re-strategize it because doing this for 30 years is no joke at all. Some people have not stayed for 6 months. They're already complaining. Please, like she shared already, your conviction. Keep developing that conviction. Conviction is built in the place of prayers, in the place of studies, in the place of clarity, in the place of envisioning, in the place of mentorship.
Yeah.
But by the time you become so convinced about that thing, you become like a rock that cannot be
Yeah.
stopped, that
Mm.
cannot be shaken. Thank you, Coach Redempta. In fact, this afternoon, while I was brainstorming and just meditating upon what we do here, you already mentioned the word. I just confirmed something I was thinking about doing for women after this very edition. We have two other conversations that will be led as well. I just want us to lead with conversations. That's how I'm being led to help women this season. A lot of conversations because I know that women learn a lot from conversations, and I'm trusting God for more impact. And that's why I'm bringing wonderful and amazing women to come teach. If any one of them resonates with you and you feel like reaching out, you're unable to reach out, you can reach out to me. I'll connect you to them. And if you want to get any of their books or their courses, please feel free to do so. We'll be so glad. We are raising intentional women who will be so focused, put together, able to build formidable structures that can set them ablaze on the path of impact. This is a platform for you to make impact. It's not a place to come and sleep, like she already said. Thank you, Coach Sedemta. I really celebrate you. You're beautiful at heart. You're beautiful on the outside. You're beautiful in spirit. Thank you so much for going through this journey with us. We're grateful. Have an amazing day, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, you're saying they love you.
Love you back.
All right, people, we're going to meet again by 8 p.m. Get yourself ready. Tomorrow we'll be having 4 sessions to round off the Focus Female Summit. Have you learned a lot? Go invite your friends, so don't sleep on this. By tomorrow, we're going to be having 4 sessions starting from 12 p.m. with Our Lady from Eswatini, and then 2 p.m., 3 p.m., plus 8 p.m. I'll be teaching myself by 8 p.m. today. Ensure you show up for that session. It's going to be brief, maybe less than 30 minutes, for us to round off what we started yesterday on the Focus framework. Have an amazing night rest. Bye for now.